The games are coming thick and fast out in the Championship, and as we edge closer to this weekend's matches, there's a new name in the top 6. Who is it? I'll tell you all about it next. Once again, another prediction show today. We're taking a look at match number 33 of the Championship, and we'll get to that in just one second. If you're new to the channel, stop what you're doing, swallow what you're doing, and smash your subscribe button to get your bang up to date with all things Blackburn related, Championship related, well, football related. We got it all here under Roverseas. That's right. Bournemouth are out. Woodgate is out. Not really out, but you know what I mean. But up steps Mick McCarthy's boys. Cardiff have actually turned their season around. Of course, Barnsley also sniffing on the door. Of course, we'll take a look at all of that in a minute. Of course, big shout out to the Patreons, boys and girls. Do appreciate the support behind the scenes. Thank you for supporting the channel. I really do appreciate it. You guys think I just say that for the sake of it. I do really appreciate it. So thank you for support, especially through times like these. So kicking off forward, then take a look at how we all got on. We're going to start with me, and then we're going to take a look at you. So here we go. Kicking on forward, then take a look at the matches. Of course, Birmingham up against Norwich. These games took place on over Tuesday and Wednesday, 23rd and 24th of February. Of course, Birmingham, they were in it. Pookie with a brace, Oliver Skip as well, giving Norwich 3 goals. Ivan Sanchez giving Birmingham a little bit of hope, but unfortunately no good. Birmingham, where are they? They're hanging on in there, just above the old drop zone. Meanwhile, kicking on forward, Derby against Huddersfield Town. Wayne Rooney FC are moving the bloody chains. George Edmondson, Martin Wycombe on the score sheet. Jaden Brown on the score sheet. Get himself sent off for Huddersfield. They're also on a bit of trouble as well. I've got to keep an eye on these guys. Of course, Middlesbrough got themselves spanked by Nigel Pearson. First game in charge. Fama Diadaru with a couple of goals there. Naki Wells as well. Del Fry in the eye. Of course, getting a goal as well, giving themselves a win for Bristol City. 2-1 for me. Pretty shitty for me so far. Actually, not bad, actually. Luton Town against Millwall. Luton Town, of course, pulling on the brakes for Millwall. George Evans on the score sheet for Millwall. Elijah Adebayo on the score sheet for Luton, giving them a point as well. 1-1. Actually, 1-0 win for Luton. Not good enough. Not good enough indeed. Rotherham against Nottingham Forest. Ended up as a 1-0 win for Forest. Move the chains again. Ryan Yates with the 1-0 goal. 2-2 for me. Not good enough. Wycombe, though, surprise, picking up a win against Reading. Fred Adedemena on the score sheet for Wycombe. Of course, Ryan Tafaselli got himself sent off. But that's played with 10 men with 20 minutes to spare, and they held on. Big win for Wycombe as well. Of course, a bit of a slip up for Reading. Of course, Barnsley keep it on. Of course, into Wednesday's games, they beat Stoke 2 win comfortably as well. Callum Stars, Daryl DK on the score sheet with the 90th minute to give them the 3 points. 2-1 for me. But they're right in it. They're right in the thick of things. Brentford kicking ass, taking names as well. Brian Mbembo, Sami Angodas, and Mads Beck Sorensen. Goals. That's all you can say about that. Sheffield Wednesday back in trouble once again. 3-0 there. 2-0 for me. Swansea City also getting a win of fine margins. Ben Cabango on the score sheet, giving them the W. Swansea winners. Coventry struggling. 3-1 win for Swansea on that one. Bournemouth, like I said, this was a big game, of course. 2-1 loss. Cardiff goals. Sean Morrison's keeping more from the post, but Shane Long giving a late bit of push there for Bournemouth, but too little, too late. Same can be said for Rovers. 3-2 loss. We were close. Still shit, but we were close. Yao Pedro, Ismaili Sarr, Ken Zerm on the score sheet for Watford, Harry Elliott, of course Ben Brereton on the score sheet for Rovers, but we're shit. That's all you have to know about that. And of course Preston, QPR, nil, brother. I got myself 2, 4, 6, 7, which is pretty good, not great. The table looks like this. Norwich are looking cruising at the moment, 7 points clear over Brentford, who are 11 points with Watford, who are 1 point clear of Swansea, who have 2 games in hand. Reading are 5th by the skin of their teeth. Cardiff making the push as well. Bournemouth in the hunt, as are Barnsley, as are Middlesbrough. A win for Middlesbrough this weekend, they could go into the top 6. Stoke still in it. Millwall as well, you probably think 6 points adrift as well. Rovers, we're down into 15th. It's not good enough. It's not good enough, though. A win against Coventry maybe reboots our season. I don't know. It's just tell him out. It's miserable. I can't really get excited about it. Of course, down the table, the Wycombe going down as it stands. Rotherham also hanging on. The skin of Birmingham in that drop zone right here, right now. They're going down at the moment. Is this legit? I don't think this is legit. I think Sheffield Wednesday are legitimate in there. Yes, they are. So this is a little bit false advertising, of course. So Sheffield Wednesday, Rotherham going down at the moment. But it could all change. It could all change. So here we go then, shall we? Of course, take a look at your picks then. Let's get into it. This is the criteria not for shit-faced gang 5 9 like me. Straight-faced go. And 10 plus. You're in the top bins. Here we go. Vincent Hong, you did great, brother. Ultra over Mirror, absolutely fabulous. Of course, Alex Weller did bits. Gaming Charlie, not too shabby. Tom Stainer did good. Well done. Of course, Ollie Trafford did okay. Cody Ho, not too shabby. Olaji Ojo also did very good. Shane O'Donnell, well done. Of course, Leeds 2021 also did good. Okay, did okay. And Omas Gibil, well done, brother. Of course, kicking on further, Russell Frost, well done to you. Of course, you did good. Yeah, Jakob Jackson also did very well. Of course, Nathan Eva, well done, brother. Of course, and of course, Yannick Buster did bits. QPR Forever, not too shabby. Damien Nevin also did good. Jimmy Gold also good. Ivan Stringer did shit. Shepard also did very well. James BCFC are great, but of course, Birmingham not so great. Roberto Hollis did poop. And Ashton Knights did great indeed. Take a look at the table as it stands. Roberto Hollis, Ivan Stringer, close your bloody eyes. As for Tom Stainer, Cody Go, QPR Forever, Nathan Eva, absolutely fantastic. The Kings, 4 Kings reigning supreme at the top of the championship this week and this week alone. But what about the overall Kingpings? Ashton Knight, you're a knight, not a king, but of course you could get the king next round. The leader though is Shane O'Donnell, absolutely fantastic. Gaming Charlie's also up there as well. Russell Frost has got his old work to do to make a clean sweep across the EFL, but he's in there, as is Vincent Hong, of course, doing very well. OK's up there as well. Alex Weller, Joachim Jackson, Roberto Hollis, and Yannick Buster probably inside with the hope as well. But of course, it could all change this weekend as we head to the next round of matches. Match day number 33. Of course, let's get into it. Of course, kicking all off with Derby up against Forest. I might do a watch along on this one if I have the time. It's a bit of a fruitful derby. Of course, I won't have to worry about. Just enjoy the football. That's all it'll be about. Of course, anyway, heading into this, of course, last 6-0 for Derby, 3 for Forest, and 3 draws. That's around at Pride Park. Was of course back in July 2020 in lockdown. 1-1 draw. Of course, Wycombe got himself sent off. Joe Lolly scores against Rovers. Chris Martin as well. Late equaliser for Derby, giving them a show of the sports. In fact, the last 2 of these 2 encounters, back in October, was a 1-1 draw as well. Heading into the Derby, have actually won the last 4 matches in the Championship and looking very good at that. Actually, 4 wins in the past 6 games in all competitions for Derby, losing to Rotherham though, and also losing to Watford not too long ago. Meanwhile, just 1 defeat in the past 6 for Forest. Of course, that was against Swansea, but they're just grinding out the results, of course, and they've actually got 1, 2, 3, 4 clean sheets in the past 5 games. They're keeping it airtight at the back. Look at the bookies odds on this one. Bloody well, sort it out, son. Where's my bookies odds? Of course, Forest coming at you. Of course, 90-10 for the victory. 64 is your Wayne Rooney FC. 94 is the draw. Of course, Derby coming at you out in 19th. At the moment, to win for them, they could go as high as 13th. Of course, Forest are on 16th at the moment, but to win for them, they could go as high as 12th in the table, and that could maybe get them in. One of those teams that come out of nowhere, and you might just sneak into the top 6. You just don't know. 2-2 for me. Cannot separate 2 sides, but it'll be goals galore. Kicking off forward, another fruity one. It's Bournemouth are down in 7th now, up against Watford, who are in 3rd. Of course, played each other last 6, 1 win apiece, and 4 draws last around at the Vitality. I think it's a 3-0 win, of course, for Watford against Bournemouth in the Premier League. Of course, back in January 2020, goal scorers on the day was Abayavana Dugari on the score, Troy Deeney and Roberto Pereira as well. They did version this season at the Vicarage Road, of course, 1-1 draw back in October. Stip Pereka on the score sheet, Chris Meppen on the score sheet as well for Bournemouth. Watford actually won their last 4 matches in the Championship, scoring at least 2 goals in the last 4 away matches against Bournemouth as well. They're also undefeated in 10 of the last 11 matches against Bournemouth in all competitions. Heading into this, of course, Watford winning 4 on the spin, including that win against Rovers. Of course, just 1 win in the past 4 games for Bournemouth. That 1 win was against Rotherham. So not really working out for Woodgate and co. Look at the bookies odds on this one then, shall we? 31-24. Bournemouth 12-5 is your 13-8 is your Watford. Watford are 3rd. A win for them, they could go 2nd. As for Bournemouth, they're down as 7th, but a win for them, they could go as high as 5th. That's right. Brendan could fall out of the playoffs this weekend. I think they could very well do that. Kicking off forward though, I've got a 2-1 win for Watford here to keep on moving on. Next one win, must-win game for Birmingham down the foot of the table, up against, of course, QPR. Let's take a look at this one then, shall we? Of course, played each other in the last 6. 1 for Birmingham, 2 for QPR, 3 draws. Of course, last around at St Andrews was a 2-0 win for QPR back in December 2019. Grant Hall, Brighton Samuel, of course, on the score sheet. They did each other this season at Loftus Road, a 0-0 draw back in October. Birmingham though, losing 8 of the last 9 home matches in the Championship. Also, QPR undefeated in the last 7 on the road. QPR though, also undefeated in 9 last 10 matches against Birmingham in all competitions. Heading into this though, unbeaten the last 5, that's QPR. Of course, the last suffered a defeat against Derby back at the end of January. Meanwhile, 1 win the past 6 games for Birmingham. That was against Sheffield Wednesday. Of course, a lot of defeats. Actually lost 4 of the past 5 games. That is Birmingham. Look at the bookies odds on this one then, shall we? Birmingham 30-8 for the victory. 13-8 is also the QPR. 23-10 is the draw. QPR are into 13th right now, but a win for them, they go in the top half of the table up to 11th. As for Birmingham, they're down 21st, but a win for them, they could go above Coventry. Their residents, their lodgers. In the end, 1-0 win for Birmingham. I've got them moving the chains. Move the bloody chains. Next, of course, we have, of course, Rovers taking on Coventry, and it's been a shit few weeks for Rovers. But the games are coming fast, and that's the problem. It is coming so fast that those 5 games have been in the space of like 2 and a bit weeks. We need to move. We need to move them on. We need to believe in ourselves. We're still scoring goals. In fact, we've only the past 6 games we've only failed to score the once. So we're still banging the fan in the back of the net. But unfortunately, we need to keep it tight at the back. Kaminsky needs to up his game. Anyway, we'll talk more about that in the match preview. But of course, kicking on forward, last 5 between two sides, 2 wins apiece and 1 draw last time around at Ewood Park was a 2-2 draw back in the FA Cup, brother, all the way back in 2009. Santa Cruz, Christopher Samba on the score sheet. Good, I love it if they were still with us. Of course, Michael Doyle and Aaron Goodmanson on the score sheet for QPR. I got no records. I got no records for the last time I played each other in the league. Of course, they did play each other this season in Coventry / Birmingham. 4-0 win for Rovers. Of course, heading into this though, Rovers losing their last 5 matches. And of course, heading into this looking very, very miserable as well. Just 1 win the past 6 games for Rovers, 1 win the past 6 games for Coventry. That 1 win though was against Brentford, so they fancy the chances to up their game. Of course, heading into this, Rovers 21-20. They are your favourites for this one. 5-2 is your Coventry. Of course, 12-5 is the draw. Of course, Coventry are down into, of course, 20th. But a win for them, they could go 18th. Rovers are, of course, in, where are we? 15th at the moment. But a win for theirs, they could go as high as 12th in the tier. I'm going with Rovers on this one. Believe it or not, I think we'll win this one. And I'll have a watch along as well, so make sure you come by for that. Next, of course, high flyers. It's Barnsley against Millwall, of course. Win for these 2 sides, put them right in contention, of course. Played to the last 6, 2 wins apiece and 2 draws last round in Barnsley. In Oka was a 0-0 draw back in June, sorry. In lockdown, 0-0 draw, of course, last season. Did play each other this season. Also, down at the den, it was a 1-1 draw. Jake Cooper and Alex Mount on the score sheet. Barnsley winning their last 4 matches in the Championship. Also, Millwall undefeated their last 9. Heading into this, of course, looking very, very good, of course. Picking up 3 wins at the past 6 games for Millwall, 4 wins on the spin for Barnsley. They are one of the form teams, if not the form team at the moment. Look at the bookies odds on this one then. Barnsley coming at you 23-20 for the victory, 23-10 is your Millwall, 12-5 is your draw. Of course, Millwall in 11th at the moment, but a win for them, they could go 9th. As for Barnsley, they're up to 8th at the moment, but a win for them, they could go into the top 5. Yeah, believe it, baby. Gone with Barnsley on this one with 2-1 win. They've got the bit between the teeth. They're looking good. They're playing with pizzazz. Next, of course, we have Brentford up against Stoke, of course. Last 62 wins apiece and 2 draws last time around. In Brentford was a 1-0 win for Brentford in the FA Cup. They also played each other in the Championship. Of course, back in 2019 was a 0-0 draw. Of course, they played each other this season at the Bet365. 3-2 win for Stoke, of course, back in October. Heading into this, Brentford have actually won 6 of the last 7 home matches in the Premier League and in the Championship, of course, and they've also kept a clean sheet in 5 of the last 7 home matches against Stoke. Heading into this, so just 1 win the past 4 games for Brentford. That 1 win was against Sheffield Wednesday just the other day. Meanwhile, 2 wins in the past 6 games for Stoke. But of course, they come into this on the back of the loss to Barnsley. I've got no bookies odds on this one, of course. Brentford coming at you out in, of course, 2nd, but a win for them, they could close in on 1st. As for Stoke, they're down at 10th, but a win for them, they could close in onto possibly go as high as 8th in the table. I've got him with Brentford on this one with a 3-0 win as well. Next, of course, we have a fruity one. We have the Neil Warnock derby once again. Middlesbrough up against Cardiff. Let's get a look at this one then, shall we? Of course, play each other last 6. 1 win for Middlesbrough, 4 for Cardiff, 1 draw. If anything, Warnock would want to do one over Cardiff for the way they treated him, so we'll be looking at this one. Anyway, they played each other, of course, back at Riverside back in July 2020. Of course, 3-1 win for Cardiff. Back in, of course, last season in lockdown. Goal scores on that day. Of course, Sean Morrison, Josh Murphy with the brace. Britt Longer for Middlesbrough. Johnny Howson got himself sent off. They also played each other in Wales earlier this season. Of course, George Savile on score sheet, Senji Ajoyo on score sheet, of course, Cardiff. Heading into this, Cardiff winning their last 6 matches. Of course, Mick McCarthy's done an absolute fantastic job scoring at least 2 goals in the last 6 as well. Heading into this, Middlesbrough Joe just 1 win. It's actually 2 wins in the past 6 games, of course, but heading into this, losing 1 of the past 3. Meanwhile, Cardiff looking absolutely fantastic. And, of course, look, the real bloody deal. Of course, look at the bookies odds on this one then, shall we? Of course, Middlesbrough coming at you out in, of course, 11-8 for the victory, 90-10 is your Cardiff, 12-5 is the draw. Of course, Cardiff are actually in 6th at the moment, but for them, they could go 5th. Middlesbrough down 9th at the moment, but for them, they could actually leap for Cardiff and go as high as 6th. I've gone draw on this one, Mick McCarthy, the Warnock derby will end up all square, 1-1 in the end. Next, we've got Luton Town up against Sheffield Wednesday. Let's take a look at this one then, shall we? Of course, played to the last 6, 3 for Luton, 2 for Sheffield Wednesday, 1 draw. Last round at Kenilworth Road was a 1-0 win back in February 2020. Of course, goal scorer was James Collins on the score sheet. They also played each other this season at Hillsborough, and guess what? It was a 1-0 win for Luton Town as well. Paddy Ruddock Mapanzo on the score sheet. Juice Van Acton got himself sent off for Sheffield Wednesday. Heading into this, Sheffield Wednesday have actually failed to score in their last 3 matches. They also lost the last 3 away matches as well. Coming into this, just 1 win in the past 5 games. That 1 win was against Sheffield Wednesday. As for Luton Town, just 1 win in the past 6 games as well. That 1 win was against Birmingham. Of course, look at the bookies odds on this one then, shall we? Of course, Luton Town, 5-4 for the victory, 5-2 is Sheffield Wednesday, 21-10 is the draw. Where are you? Wednesday, they're down 23rd at the moment, better win for them. They could go as high as 21st. Luton Town are actually in 17th at the moment, better win for them. They could go as high as 13th in the tier. Yes, brother. Gone with a 2-1 win for Luton Town. Move the chains. Move the bloody chains. See where we end up then. Of course, next, of course, Preston North End up against Huddersfield Town. They're looking down right now. Huddersfield Town, of course, let's take a look at this one. They shall, of course, played to the last 6, 4 for Preston, 1 for Huddersfield, 1 draw, last time around. At Deep Dells, of course, 3-1 win for Preston back in November 2019. Jaden Stockley, Alan Brown, Paul Gallagher from the player spot, Junior Bakuna on the score sheet for Huddersfield. They also played this season at the John Smith's Kirklees Stadium. It was a 2-1 win for Nobbers as well. In fact, they've actually unbeaten against Huddersfield for 1, 2, 3, the last 3 occasions, going all the way back to 2017. Preston have actually won the last 5 home matches against Huddersfield in all comps. They also failed to score, though, in 5 of the last 7 matches in the Championship, whereas Huddersfield actually failed to win their last 11 on the road. Looking at this, of just 1 win in the past 6 games for Huddersfield. That was against Swansea. Big win, of course. 1 win in the past 6 games for Preston, though. That 1 win was against Blackburn, of course. We don't really want to talk about that. But anyway, kicking off forward, what do we have on this one then, shall we? Of course, bookies odds on this one, 11-8 for Preston, 90-10 is your Huddersfield, 12-5 is your draw. Of course, Huddersfield down in 19th, but win for them. They could go as high as 15th. Preston actually above us at the moment. And when I say us, I mean us. They're actually on 14th spot at the moment, but win for them. They could go as high as 11th. Nobbers will win this one, 2-0 win. Take the points, move the chains. Rotherham up against Reading in the Battle of the Yards, of course, played each other the last 6. Another for Rotherham, 4 for Reading, 2 draws last round at, of course, the New York Stadium. Was a 1-1 draw back in December 2018. Sam Baldock on the score sheet for Reading, Joe Mattick on the score sheet for Rotherham. Of course, they played each other this season at the Matchday. 3-0 win for Reading. Yaku Maite with a couple of goals there. Lucas Jow as well. Rotherham, though, losing the last 4 matches in the Championship. Also failing to score in the last 3. Of course, Reading coming into this just 1 win in the past 6 games. That 1 was against Bristol City. Of course, 4 defeats on the spin for Rotherham. So 2 teams looking for a win. Desperado. Of course, looking at this one then, shall we? Of course, Rotherham 70-10 for the victory. 31-20 is your Reading. 23-10 is the draw. Of course, Rotherham and the relegation zone at the moment, but with them, they could go above Birmingham in the end. As for Reading, they're in 5th at the moment, but a win for them. They could close in on 4th. I think I've got a 1-0 win. Surprise here. Of course, big move, big result for Rotherham. Another shit one for Reading. Next, of course, Swansea up against Bristol City. Of course, new manager bounce at Bristol City with Pearson in charge. Can they get another one over Swansea? Of course, played the last 6 2 apiece and 2 draws last round in Wales. Of course, a 1-0 win. Of course, back in July 2020. Swansea coming out on top with the W. Connor Robertson on the score sheet. They played this season at Thrashton Gate. It was a 1-1 draw back in October. Jamal Lowe on the score sheet for Swansea. Of course, Naki Wells from the parent spot giving them a share of the spoils. Swansea, though, keeping a clean sheet in 7 last 9 matches at home. They're also undefeated in the last 13 matches at home. Heading into this, a bit ropey-dopey form for both of these sides. In fact, very, very ropey-dopey for Swansea, winning 3 out of the past 5, losing to Manchester City and also losing to Huddersfield. However, just 1 win in the past 6 or maybe even 7 games for, of course, Swansea. Of course, Nigel Pearson coming in to reset the blocks for Bristol City. Of course, coming out with a debut win. Technically, I don't think he was really at the helm, but he was there. You know what I mean. 5-4 on for Swansea for the victory. 7-2 is your Bristol City. 30-5 is the draw. Of course, Bristol City down into 12th at the moment, but with them, they could go as high as 10th. As for Rovers, as for bloody Swansea, they're actually in 4th at the moment, but with them, they could go 2nd. Going with a draw on this one. New manager bounce. I kick it off forward. It'll be Wycombe, bottom of the table, up against top of the table, of course. At wherever they play their football. Of course, last 4 between these two sides. 4 wins for Norwich, nothing for Wycombe, no draws. Last time around at Wycombe was a 7-goal thriller in the League Cup back in 2018. Of course, that's the pleasure. In the league, though, was back in 2010 in League One. 1-0 win for Norwich. Of course, possibly Lambert in charge, maybe back in the day, Corey Smith. I think Lambert was in charge of Wycombe, and then he went to Norwich, and then he went to Villa, right? I think that's how it worked. They also finished with Akaro 2-1 win back in October, of course. Norwich winning the last 4 matches in the Championship, coming in just 1 defeat the past 6. Just 1 defeat the past 4 games, though, for Wycombe. Of course, not 2. They're proving to be a little bit stubborn right now. That 1 defeat was against Derby. Of course, look at bookies odds on this one then, shall we? Of course, taking place on Sunday, 6-1 for Wycombe. Long shots 9-4 on is your Derby. Your Norwich, of course, 7-2 is the draw. Of course, Wycombe, a win for them. They could close in on, of course, Sheffield Wednesday. As for Norwich, they can extend the lead to 10 points, if not more than that, depending on what goes on elsewhere. I've gone with a 2-0 win for Norwich. Shame on you. Shame on me. If I'm right, which I hope so, this is what the table will look like at the end of it. Of course, Norwich will be up to 70 points for the season. Of course, Brentford will be in 2nd. Watford, Swansea, Reading, and Barnsley will make up your top 6. Wow, wow, wee, wow. As for the front of the table, it's Wycombe, Rotherham, and Birmingham going down, but it is very, very tight. Airtight at the look at the table, of course. Anybody from realistically You could probably say Forest. I don't want to say anything more than that because then it's Rovers. It is tight though. It is getting much tighter, especially if you don't start to lose the chains. Be sure to get your picks in today for this, and we'll do it all again very, very soon. Until then though, be sure to check out the links down below. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook. And again, if you want to support shout in another way, you could become the latest member of the Patreon gang. It's all in there, all in the description. Until then, I'll see you soon, probably on Sunday, maybe Monday. But until then, be safe, mask up, and I'll see you all next time.